Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to Popternative. This is the talk show podcast where I have digital discussions, worlds of TV, music, news, pop culture, everything really depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as Peter Beats. My guest is a musician. Her debut EP is out now. Some music videos are coming out for her songs as well. Keelie Walker is with us. Keelie, welcome to Popternative.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's an exciting time. The EP is out. What can you tell us about the story behind some of the songs on this EP?
So every song on the EP is something that relates to me, and in the process of writing it, I was trying to persuade it in a way that others would relate to it as well. And this is my first EP that I got to write on of every song, so that was really fun to experience, and I'm so glad I got into writing. But yeah, this whole EP is just like a lot of fun. It's like everything you would talk about having a girls' night. So it's like, you know, people going through depression, like your feelings, heartbreak, love, just party, having fun, which is girls' night. So it's just everything you talk about at having a girls' night.
Couple of days or a couple of weeks like leading up to the EP coming out, that must have been kind of like the calm before the storm. What was that like, kind of with it kind of being released, all like it was going to be released, right? But what were the kind of days or weeks leading up to it like for you?
So it was super exciting, especially because the process of this project had like slowed down a huge amount because of COVID. We began writing of the EP was last year, like beginning last year. And there was like a lot of dates that were kind of like moved around. So the date that we got that was official was like just so excited. I was so excited to release it. I was so ready. I wanted to see what people think and just put it out there because I had worked really hard on it and I was just ready.
Absolutely. When people kind of listen to Girls Night and the EP, the obvious answer to this question is you hope people enjoy it. You hope they recommend it to their friends. Diving deeper into it a little bit more, when people listen to Keelie Walker, what are you hoping they get out of it?
Just something that's real. Whenever I write music, I try to put it in a way where people can understand and connect with me, like emotionally, you know? So just music that's real, something that you connect to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because, you know, you're in the studio, you're recording this album. It's an exciting time. This question I ask, I often get different answers for this. That's why I'm excited to ask you this. I mean, when do you know you have a good song or an intriguing song or a good, like, is it when you're writing it? Is it when you play it back for the first time? Does it depend on each song? Like, what's that like when you know it's like, wow, I have a good song here?
For me, I feel like it's the recording part. Whenever we write everything, we get a track down, right? And then we play the track over and over and over again. We loop it and we just think of melodies and then we think of words to replace, you know, that goes with the melody. And then we kind of just throw something together and then we go in the booth and I just start recording, laying everything down. And then we kind of like just like replace what we want, move around what we want. And I feel like for me, whenever I get in the booth and I start recording, I can tell if it's gonna be like a hit or not. Like if it's gonna be a good song. Like if I feel like deep down, it's kind of like just a feeling that you get. Like,
Absolutely.
you know what I mean?
Oh, of course I know what you mean. Absolutely. It's just interesting because there's some people that say they can't release a song if they don't like picture themselves like listening to it and bopping it in their car. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like,
especially. Right, yeah.
so it's just like it's interesting. Or some people were like, when I'm writing it or I'm humming the melody, like I know it's gonna be good even before I record it. And like when someone told me that, I was like, wow, like I've never heard that before. So I was just curious. But yeah, that's the standard, definitely. Music videos, it's exciting. You know, there's a music video out now and a new music video is coming out soon, correct?
Yes.
And
Well,
that's
no, one Runaway just came out
Runaway just
recently,
came
like,
out, but there was one before that as well, right?
right, Girls' Night.
Yeah, exactly. So Runaway's out now. I mean, what was that like kind of putting together that music video?
That music video is like super special. I think that's the most special one so far.
Mhm.
Just because it really had like a true depth to it, like a meaning was so deep, and it was about anxiety and depression and just daily struggles we all go through on our own. And the music video for it, I wanted to show like the different sides and stories of people's lives that they may be happening and
Mhm.
going on. Like teen pregnancy is a huge thing, and like bullying and suicide and like abusiveness at home, like with
Yeah.
their parents and stuff like that. So we kind of just showed people's lives. Like we just created a story. And so that was what it was involved in the music video. And my part, I was kind of like the light in the music video because it is a positive message. So I was the light, and I was like the hope to give people.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just great. And it was my first music video that I got to like sit back and like help direct. And I started acting really young, so that was like super fun for me. It was
Mhm.
just a different side I've never done, and I was excited.
Absolutely. Getting back to the EP, you had some really cool people that you worked with on this EP. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that kind of team came together?
Right, so I had two collaborations on this EP, and one of them is King B. He's a rapper, and he collaborated with me on Independent. And then Jada, she is a actress off of Julie and the Phantoms on Netflix. And she was so great. I was so excited to work with her, and we did the song called "The Chase," and that had like a good thing to it. Like we that song was promoted for this acai company called Ubatuba, and they were all about like saving turtles. So it went towards like a donation.
Yeah.
So like whenever they asked me to sing with her and record the song to help, you know, the turtles and everything. And I was like, yeah, most definitely. I feel like it was like a great cause, and it was super fun too. So it was great.
Absolutely. But there's also some really cool producers on this audio EP as well, right?
Right. So I worked with XL, and I worked with Young Lad, and it was my first time working with them. I worked with XL on Snakes, and I worked with Young Lad on like the rest of them. And they were great. They're like huge inspirations. And whenever I was working with them, it was like great to see how they put their music together. Like, because in this industry, we all have like our own lanes, you know? So seeing the production side and like creating music rather than like singing it and writing it, to see the track come together and how they put it together is really great. And they just gave me advice on music and being in the industry, and they were just super inspiring, and I loved working with them.
Absolutely. What would you say was the coolest thing about putting this EP together? Like, what did you enjoy the most about putting together this whole EP, Keely?
I think just working with a whole bunch of new different people.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and just being inspired by other people in this industry, and just working really hard for it to all come together
Mhm.
and just growing with
What's
music.
what's the overall reception been with the EP and the music videos so far? Like, what's that been like for you?
It's been great. I loved putting it together and writing the songs, and now that it's finally out, I'm like so happy. I'm so excited for it to be out.
Absolutely. Is there in terms of it's interesting because there's a lot of different kind of like inspirations and sounds going on in your EP as well. Were you planning on doing that as well? Maybe not limiting yourself to kind of one genre of music as well, because there's a pop aspect of it. Like everyone talks about that, but there's a lot of different sounds and inspirations that are drawn in this EP. I would say, right?
Right.
So,
So
do you think that was like what do you think about genre bending and putting a lot of things in music?
I love it. I feel like I would consider myself as pop, but also like a little R&B.
Yeah,
Um, because I also grew up dancing, so I love all kinds of music. I love all genres, like to trap, to country, to R&B and B and pop, and just I love it all. So I think putting like a little mix of everything, like having your main base, which is pop, and then putting a little mix of R&B with it. I love it.
Absolutely. Keelie, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
Yeah, can you plug away? I mean, the EP's out now. Where can people follow you on social media, music videos? Plug away, Keelie.
Gotcha. So you can find everything on my website at KeelieWalker.com. And on my Instagram, it is Keelie Walker. My TikTok is Keelie Walker Music. And my Facebook is Keelie Walker Official.
Amazing. And music videos are available now as well?
Yes.
So they can check those out. And
All on YouTube.
All on YouTube. Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative. YouTube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. Till next time, this is Keelie Walker and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.